Yeah, my screen is visible now. Anyone can confirm.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, welcome to all Goa Mills of Meter. It's a very good afternoon to all as well. And today's topic is going to be a model context protocol MCP with a Cursor AI. So basically, we are going to discuss today how we can transform Mule API into MCP server. So before moving into actual topic, let me discuss safe harbor statement. So both the speaker and the host are organizing this meetup in the individual capacity only. So we are not representing our companies here. And second point is this presentation is strictly for learning purpose only, and organizer or presenter do not hold any responsibility that same solution will work for your business requirement. And this presentation is not meant for any promotional activities. The similar, like we have few housekeeping points. So this recording of this meetup will be uploaded in event page. So where you are registered, right? Goa MuleSoft meetup. The same page I'm going to upload within 24 hours. And questions can be submitted or asked at any time in the chat or question and answer tab, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask directly. I given everyone presenter mode, so that this session should be more interactive. And after this session, everyone going to receive feedback form. So rate this meetup, uh, rate this speaker session by filling the feedback form. And at the end of the day, so we love feedbacks. And I'm going to introduce Goa Meetup leaders. Myself, Vandana Gowda. I'm a senior software engineer and working in Genser Technologies. I'm also MuleSoft mentor and Goa Meetup leader. And we have Vinay. Vinay also, he is also working as a MuleSoft developer at Prowess of Technologies. And he also MuleSoft a developer mentor and a Goa Meetup leader. And we have Gaurav Dubey. Gaurav also a senior architect at Capgemini Australia, and he is also MuleSoft mentor, leader, and ambassador. And when it comes to a speaker, we know Nasim mostly is third or fourth time he's speaking for Goa MuleSoft Meetup. I'm very happy to host him in upcoming days as well. Like every time he coming with a new topic and latest technologies. So he going to present, and please, Nasim, introduce yourself to everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, Vandana. So yeah, hello, good afternoon, everyone. So thanks everyone for joining. So yeah, myself Naseem Khan, and I'm having almost 15 years of IT experience, and in MuleSoft, approx 8 years. So currently, yeah, it's been 5 years in with Cognizant. So yeah, I'm having all MCD, L1, MCPA, MCIA certification. So yeah, that's pretty much about myself. So yeah, we'll continue. So I'm sharing my screen,
Yeah,
Vandana.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Okay.
thank you.
You have access,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Please let me
Yeah,
know.
screen is visible.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you please click that hide one, Nasim?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So so today I'll be speaking on the MCP. MCP. What is MCP and what is MuleSoft MCP support? Okay, and then I'll show you how we can transform our Mule API into MCP servers so that it is ready to use for any agent. And for the integration side, yeah, I'll be showing with the cursor AI how it is getting our MuleSoft API is getting consumed by an agent. And I'll show one more thing, that how we can create an API specification in RAML using just tapping the natural language, like just create an process API for the policies or any BFS or any project like Salesforce. So it will get created in our design center, and I'll demonstrate it, and we'll have a question answer session, right? So these are the agendas for today's event. So first thing comes into mind that why MuleSoft MCP, I mean, comes into picture. What is MCP, right? Because we already have our API. So what, I mean, what is the basic functionality or existence for the MCP? So MCP, we can say that it's an open protocol, okay, that acts as a bridge between our downstream system, our API, and for the agent. So let's assume that if we have an API and we are trying to integrate with Lovable or Cursor, so these agents have different different things to consume, right? Different way to consume. So in order to make it unified, so MCP comes into the picture. So MCP acts as a bridge between agent and our API. So we can think of MCP like a USB-C port, right? For AI application. So what a USB-C port provides? It standardized way to connect our devices to various peripherals and accessories. So if we have USB-C port, we can connect to multiple devices and whichever type of socket it has, right? So we can think of MCP like the same way. So MCP, whatever, I mean, the agent is there in the receiving end. So our MCP will make our API ready to use for them. So MuleSoft's implementation of MCP is designed for, we can say, it's for flexibility, speed, and scalable. So with just a few clicks, we don't need to do a lot of coding for this. So if we have our API ready, so we can transform this API into MCP servers. Right, with just a few clicks, we can transform our API or Mule application into MCP servers. So no complex setup is required. So yeah, so this is basically more about this MCP model context protocol. So it is connector based MCP implementation. Recently in June, it went GA for everyone. So earlier there was a beta version. So now we have 101 connector version is available. So MCP operates through a client server architecture. So in this one, first is MCP servers. So these are the interfaces that connects to external data sources or tools, we can say, like GitHub, Google Drive, or whatever. Yeah. So they expose functionalities that AI applications can utilize. So that is the MCP servers, and MCP clients are AI application like Cursor, Cloudy Desktop, or Lovable, or whatever we want to use. So act as a client. So that is the client, and MCP servers are the interfaces. So that MCP clients connecting to MCP servers to access the downstream data or interact with the exposed tools. So yeah, so this is the architecture, and this comes from the MuleSoft. You can say you can see in the center like MuleSoft MCP support, and in the left hand side are the clients, and this inventory data, customer data, internal data are the downstream data which we agents can access with the using of MCP. Okay, so until here, any questions? If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
No questions as of now.
Okay, okay, yeah. So with MuleSoft, we can now it's a AI era, right? Everything we are trying to, every company, every organization is trying to accelerate their AI work, right? In Cognizant recently, yeah, we have this vibe coding week. So in MCP provides us organizations to they can expose any MuleSoft managed API, and not only MuleSoft managed API, but anything. But for MuleSoft MCP support, we are talking about, so it can expose any MuleSoft managed API, whatever we have developed. So it can be exposed as an MCP server. So that is ready to use by the agent. So it enables agents to discover and invoke actions uh, uh, based on the assets we have, right? And we can say it eliminate the need of writing so many agent specific code. So yeah, so it makes our work more easy and fast. It's we can say go to market, it will be very less. So if we are implementing this MCP with any agent, so it's really very useful for the organizations, but it depends on the business use case, but whatever you are trying to uh, implement. Yeah. So MCP servers, I have explained that MCP servers, the interfaces which connects to the external data, and MCP clients are the agents. In simple words, yeah, we can consider MCP clients as an agent. And there are tools, right? So if we have, suppose if we have our API, we have developed an API in which we have I mean, suppose two things like retrieve employee ID and retrieve, you can say, company informations, right? So we have two flows. Or in this case, yeah, I have developed two flows that get design center projects. So I have connected our organization design center to this, to my Anypoint Studio, to my API. So this get design center is one tool. So one flow can we can consider as one tool, right? So in this case, in this image, you can say that I have described two tools, right? Get design center projects. So I'll show you how I have implemented it, and then second one is create raml specification. So if I send if I type, can you try to create Salesforce process API in raml? So first it will invoke get design center projects. So what it does, it will check our design center whether Salesforce process API exists in our design center or not. If it exists, it will respond with okay, it already exists, do you want to remodify or whatever. If it doesn't exist, then it will invoke second tools which I have implemented. I'll show you that create raml or open API spec. So it will invoke this tools, and then it will try to create the specification in design center. Okay. And the right hand side, it is our MuleSoft, and then left hand side we can say it's a client, which is any agents, right? So in my case, yeah, I'll show with the cursor integration. Yeah. So it will be very interesting thing. Yeah. So shall I proceed with the demo? If you have any questions, please.
Yeah, we have few questions here.
Yes,
Does the MCP server is a separate server or it will run on Mule runtime server only?
it will run on Mule runtime. And for authentication, MuleSoft has provided the Flex Gateway. But today I'll show the client ID enforcement policy, how we can send client ID and client secret from the cursor so that it can get authenticated if we have applied policies for our API. Okay.
And second
So
question
it's
is,
nothing. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Please go ahead.
yeah, continue, please continue.
Okay, so it's nothing new. I mean, only thing is we have to configure this. It's ready to, in MuleSoft, everything is ready to use, right? MuleSoft provides us the connector, which is just very easy step in configurable, and it's ready to use. So MCP is in the same way. We have our API already, MuleSoft API. On top of that, we can just create MCP tools on top of our API or top of our endpoint, we can say. Yeah. Any other questions?
What is the difference between MCP and REST API?
MCP and REST API. So MCP works on the same HTTP listener configurations. Okay, MCP works on the same HTTP on down. I mean underlying process. It works on the same our listener as it is. It works, but on top of that, MCP configuration is there for the tools, MCP tools, where we configure the endpoint that just with the path. Okay, and that path we have to give in our agents. So which URL we need to invoke. So with that URL, it will invoke the tools, and then tools will invoke further our whichever downstream, I mean, endpoint we have given in that tool. Whether we are giving any tools, I mean, any endpoint to be invoked, or we can just respond with the simple, you know, uh, response, JSON response.
And do you have any A2A orchestration in this demo?
Uh,
Location.
Orchestrations, I'll not show you, but yeah, I have created a JSON response where we can accumulate the salary of multiple employees. So that I'll show how it is, how it works. So I have created 5 tools for this demo. Let me just so for this demo, what I did, so 2 things. First thing is the simple one, to retrieve employee name by ID. So if you see here, this is let's assume this is the endpoint. This is the our endpoint, get or post, whatever method we have implemented. But here I am requesting my deployed Salesforce API policy. If you see here, SAPI employee details. So first thing in this one, I have created 5 tools. Tools is nothing but a flow. Okay. So tools, whenever I'm referring the tools, you can think of flow. So this is the first flow, retrieve employee name by ID. So for this, I have just connected. If MCP is not installed, you can search in the Exchange, and then you can add the dependency MCP. Yeah. So this connector you can add, and then add the dependency. So this MCP server tool listener. So here what is happening? You have to add the configuration for this MCP server. So here if you see, I have given this SSE endpoint. So it works on SSE, and if you see streamable HTTP server also, it can work, right? So I'll show you the SSE server. So this is the path I have given, design center. So if you see here, design center, or if you are running in the local host, then you have to just give the host and port, and then the path which you have given in the MCP server configuration. Or if you are referring the deployed API, so you can give complete URL followed by the path which you have given here in the MCP server configuration. So first thing is this MCP server designer configuration. Then you have to give the name of this tool or a flow, we can say. So I have just given get design center projects. Okay, I'm describing this one, sorry. First I'll show this is a very simple one. So retrieve employee name by ID. So whenever I am giving input, can you give me the employee name for employee ID 2 or 3? So it will invoke this tool. And whenever I'll give the input as can you give the employee details for the contact number, this, so it will invoke this flow. Okay, so I have just created 2 flows to segregate, okay, how it is, getting routed to different tools. So you have to give this name, whichever name you want to give, the relevant name you can give, description. And schema is I have given the default schema. So in this one you can create the properties and required field as well. So suppose if we have given the properties as employee id and employee contact, and in required field I have given employee id, and if I input, can you please give the input employee details for contact number so and so. So it will again prompt you, can you please provide the employee id, because it is the required field. So currently for these two tools I have just given the simple, I mean just default one. And in the response you have to add this. I am just adding this add text tool response. So you have to give here payload. I have given this payload raw. You can see here payload, the raw payload whatever we are getting, so that will be responded. Okay. So mm, okay, so this is the first tool. And what I am doing here, this is the common flow, just I have kept it to read the client id and secret from here, from cursor. Okay. So that I have just disabled the policy. I'll just show you the plain. So this is the common subflow, and employee id I am
Uh,
getting it, and
Sorry
then
to this. Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
yes please.
One, can you please show me like how the cloud you are configuring the how you're connecting to the from the client to server actually how you like a cloud configuration you are doing?
This one.
Yeah, can you
Okay,
please?
okay. So I'll show you. I'll show you. Just I'll let me describe. And it is nothing. I mean, it's very easy. You just you need to install the cursor, and I'll show you from the step one. Okay. So this is the one, and here if you see, I am invoking my Salesforce employee details API based on this API employee. So if it invokes employee name by ID, so it will get this one API slash employee endpoint will get invoked, and for this employee contact. Okay. So if you want to see what is there, so employee one, so it will have. I have just given the response for three elements in this array: employee 1, employee 2, and employee 3. So employee ID, by ID, we have salary and grade. And if suppose employee contact, let's say we have address and company. Okay, right. So these two endpoints. So if we input, I'll show you. So first thing, these two tools. Okay. Now coming to your questions. So first thing you need to do. Let me close this one. The if you see here, okay. So first thing, when you install the cursor, you need to go to the settings, and you have to search for MCP. So MCP tools will come here. So now you can see only one MCP tool is there, Design Center Local. So if you click here in the edit, so this is the configuration for Design Center. So you have to provide the URL and headers if you have any. So you can provide the headers. So I have created, I mean, for something else. So you can see this design center local. So this design center is invoking this complete deployed URL. And if we enable this design center local, so it will invoke our local host design center. So I'll just run this so that we can invoke this local. Then
So
I'll
same. same experience API we can create. So you already deployed one application and that one is invoking with the demo application. But ideally, what
Mhm.
should be like a standard way? Like a we need to create a, like most probably like a experience API will be exposing as a MCP server, right?
Correct,
I
correct.
believe like a not from the process and system layer.
So correct. So this we can consider as a experience layer. Okay. So in this one, we are invoking this system API, this SAP employee details. In this one, this is underlined downstream system, right? So this can be considered an experience API, and it is invoking this system SAP employee details.
So if it is existing as a API key router, it's having like let's suppose like a 10 endpoints,
Hmm.
and we can route it like based on the API key router, or how it will be like the existing
You can, yeah, yeah, exactly. So you can suppose in API kit router, suppose we have let's say in this, I'll show you. This is API kit router. So in this one, I have two endpoints: get employee detail by ID and contact. So if we need to expose only this one endpoints, we can create tools for this. If we need to create only for this one, we can create tools for this endpoint. So it depends on the requirement. I mean, we cannot. I think most organizations cannot, expose all the endpoints, right? So it depends on the use case, which endpoints you want to expose as a tools to be consumed by the agent. So it depends on the use case. You can consume, I mean, you can expose all the endpoints, or you can expose whatever, I mean, endpoints you need to expose. So this
So
is
you mean whenever agent needs any endpoint, only those things should be exposed as a
yes,
tool from MCP, right?
correct, correct, correct.
In that
So
case, still I have
in
an
these tools
existing
we'll have
scenario.
multiple.
For example,
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
just I'm clarifying
Mhm.
myself.
Mhm.
For example, I have only one use case, or only one endpoint should be called.
Mhm.
Then still I can use HTTP listener. Then I can get a data from Salesforce and return back, right?
Correct, correct. Yes.
So what is the business scenario for to use MCP? The decision making. Like for
Mhm.
example, if you need more than one endpoint, if you need it for agent, then we should go to MCP, or is there any other scenario?
There are multiple scenarios. Like let's if you are in insurance vertical or BFS vertical, let me describe insurance vertical. Okay, so in insurance, suppose we have multiple APIs, right? Like get policies by ID, or get policies, number of policies at one. I mean, based on the agent. Okay, or based on the policy by ID. And if we need to just mm, what we can say, if we need to analyze the expiry date, whichever policies are being expired. Okay, so we need to just get the list of all those policies which are getting expired in this August month. So I have told you we have two endpoints. One is get policy by ID, only those policy details. I need to pass the policy ID and I need to get the details. And I have another endpoint which is get policies. Okay, based on the agents, whichever agents has got those policies, right? So for agents policies by agent, it will retrieve all those policies, right? And for get policies by ID, it will retrieve only that policy details. Now our suppose our business use case is I need to get all the policies which is getting expired in this August month, right? So I cannot invoke that get policies by ID, because it returns only it we'll have to input all policies, policy ID, right, one by one. So we'll have to invoke the second endpoint, which is responds with all the policies, right? So and then we are this AI comes into the picture. Then it will refine all those policies which has expiration date as August.
This can be achieved with the listener, HTTP listener set, right? It's our existing protocol. We can call, for example, in a
Correct,
simple
correct,
way, I can say,
correct. See,
if you look at the policies.
this MCP tool listener is on top of our deployed API.
I think suppose like in the scenario based in the for the insurance time, like
Hmm.
suppose I have a insurer and I want to do a claim.
Hmm.
I can authorize my user by
Hmm.
through the agent by through the so any
Correct.
agent, and then I can create a claim,
Hmm.
and I can and so I no need to check my portals and how like I
Correct.
no need
Correct.
to fill up the details.
Correct, correct. See, suppose I am working in insurance vertical, right? Insurance domain. So sometimes these are, I mean, agents. They are going to check. I mean, they are getting the lists of every time. I mean, they are getting the list. Okay, whichever policies are expired on whichever claims they have. Insurers had claimed. So there are so many. I mean, manual things. They are invoking different APIs and different things. So it can be done. I mean, it can be done with a very smarter way, like like you just told. Okay, the claim can be created automatically. Like, I'll show you this design center. It will create API specification automatically, so the claim also can be created automatically. Or I can give you some another use case. We are doing this RFP, right? So in RFP, this proposal, so what we are doing, suppose we are getting this project and we are bidding it. So based on their the customer requirements, they have given, suppose, one word documents. In that one, they have explained all the APIs, source system and target systems, right? So in those systems, they have explained the complexity and all. So we have to just give the complex APIs, or medium complex, or the lowest one, lowest complexity. So it will calculate the, if we have set the prototype. Okay, for complex we need 10 10 man days, right? And for medium it's 8 days, and for lowest complexity it's 3 days. So it will calculate all the number of required man days it requires, and based on your whatever company, whichever company you're working on, and whatever charges for one developer or senior developer. So it will calculate the complete total cost you can, and then you can refine, you can your bid, and then you can go to the customer. Okay, these are the total manpower, man hours we require to complete this project, and all these things. So this is very, I mean, useful. Depends on the use case, and definitely we need to just brainstorm how we can get it, in get it done in better way. Correct. So, any other
Uh,
questions?
Nazim, I'm sorry
Yes.
to interrupt here once again.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Actually,
Go ahead.
still, I'm not finding the business reason, the not fixed reason. We, for this particular business use case, we should
Mm-hmm.
use MCP like that. I don't see any find any reason. The one which we are discussing, it can be achieved with the HTTP listener, uh, retrieving the list of policies or policy by ID, all those things. Okay,
So,
but
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
my
Yeah, yeah.
my simplest question is, in this is the scenario we should use MCP. Otherwise, we cannot achieve like that. Is there any business scenario like that?
See, you're right. This MCP, whatever doing with MCP, it can be done without MCP. But I have told you, suppose your organization is using Cursor AI as an
Hmm.
agent, right?
Yeah.
My organization is using different Cloudy Desktop. Okay, and Cloudy Desktop is having some other way of consuming the APIs, and your Cursor AI is having some other way of consuming your APIs. And it's not about MuleSoft APIs, right? They have different REST APIs as well from different language. So in order to unify the connection between the agent and the downstream systems, MCP comes into the picture. MCP is not doing anything for you. MCP is just connecting you as suppose you are an API, connecting you with the agent.
No,
MCP is not doing any
MCP,
calculations and all, right?
MCP helping to connect with your end systems. Like for example, they
End
get the
system
data from.
to agent, correct?
So our source will be from agent, and MCP receives the request from agent, then send the input to Salesforce and retrieve the data. Like that is okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
But see, that flow we understood.
Mm-hmm.
I am completely clear. It is really very
Uh-huh.
nicely you explained.
Yeah.
But the solid reason we are not convinced. Not what I mean is not understood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Uh,
if I understand correctly, the reason is not exposing that enterprise data directly to the HTTP request. We are getting MCP in place so that you will have that secured within the enterprise itself, within the org APIs, and
see,
MCP server will call that,
yeah,
right?
see, agent. If you are using any agent, any Chat GPT and all, if you provide your information, it will restore your information, right? So in our today it's all about data and security, right? So no an organization can expose their end data to the agent, to the in any AI agent, right?
Yeah,
Who
that
will,
is the reason
yeah,
MCP is in
yeah,
place,
comes,
right?
yeah.
So
And the basic, I mean, the main functionality is to just provide the bridge between AI agent and the downstream systems. So that's why if you see in Salesforce ecosystem we have agent force, right? So Salesforce data you cannot consume or expose to any outside world. Only it is inside the Salesforce ecosystem. So that's why they have agent force, which is explicitly, I mean, for Salesforce only ecosystem. But this MCP unifies all other downstream system with any agents, whichever agents it currently it is in market.
But Murugan question is like a, I think that
Mm-hmm.
functionality can be done by through the portal, but
Mm-hmm.
the user need to go through the portal and need to create the claims or get the claim status or update the claim status comments.
Yes,
So
yes.
those kind of things, it's agent for agent. Any agent can take care of it just
Correct.
with the
See,
simple
agent,
comments.
yeah, yeah, correct. See, in a simple organizations, like why we are using agent? Agent can understand our natural language, correct? So suppose if someone calls in a company that, okay, can you please tell me the claim? Can you please create a claim? Or can you, if any manager asks anyone, can you give the report of in all the insurance which is going to expire this month? So the same thing that, no, now if it is if it is given to the agents, so they can just give whatever they are saying to the different employee. They can just type in natural language, and it will retrieve all those informations, correct? So it, this I mean, it's a an AI is nothing but, yeah, it can transform natural language and then it acts on those input. But this is different topics. This MCP is MCP is a protocol that connects an agent to your downstream system, downstream data, the backend data, whatever we have, and whichever we need to expose. It's not like all the endpoints we have to expose to the agents. So there is no point of security and
I have one question.
yes.
So for Cloud Hub 1.0,
Hmm.
like both is supporting MCP server on
Hmm.
premise Cloud Hub and Cloud Hub 2.0 as well.
Yes.
So what will be the like Cloud Hub 1.0 that the licensing cost is different way, and Cloud Hub 2.0 it's based on the calls.
Hmm. Yes.
So how it will be impacting like the cost actually for the customer.
Actually, as far as I know, 2.0 is the best way because you pay as you go, right? But in 1.0, yeah, if you are suppose if you have purchased and if you are using for a few things, but you still need to pay huge amount. But this licensing cost and all, frankly, I don't know. But I know that it's better to use in cloud 2.0 because that will be more based on your usage.
but inside I am paying for the MCP call as well as like same call is costing like for the HTTP call also, right? Listener also, right? For the
Correct.
single call, it will
Yeah.
cost two times, right?
No, but in this one, in MCP server, you should not suppose we have three APIs: experience layer, process layer, and system layer, right? So we don't need to create. Suppose we have three experience APIs, right? And all three experience APIs, we don't need to create three APIs for the MCP tools. We can create one API and we can include all three tools inside single API.
Okay.
So we can consolidate all the endpoints and can be clubbed into one and one single applications for the MCP tool.
Hi, Nasim.
Yeah. Hi.
So I have a question regarding MCP server.
Yes,
So
please.
as you mentioned that, okay, we don't want to highlight our client data to any LLM models, right? So
Correct.
by chance, like this MCP server is calling any other external or third-party LLM tool for any kind of response, or it's itself is a you know uh, like LLM tool.
No, no. It will. Can you please come again? I didn't understand. I didn't get you.
Uh, so my question is like when you give an input to the MCP server to
Correct.
get the response of it, it
Hmm.
does it call any third party LLM like ChatGPT or Gemini
No, no, no,
to
no,
get
no,
response?
no, no, no. So suppose this is cursor AI. So for
Yeah.
generic thing, it will call their algorithm. It will run their algorithm. But for the backend data which asked for the input, so it will invoke our API.
We will be configuring the MCP URL here in the tool here, and then
Yes,
whatever the NLP, we just type the command, we type the prompt. With that, it will understand, it will make the call, and it will automatically get it. We don't give,
correct.
especially which point to call
No,
also. For
no, no,
example,
no.
on the right side, if you
So
see there is employee name by employee
by
ID,
employee ID. So it is
it
called
automatically
retrieve
decided which
employee.
endpoint to call.
Yes, yes,
We don't have to give it any context like, okay, call only this HTTP request or this MCP thing. And in the same application, if you have multiple endpoints, it is automatically deciding which endpoint to get that information and getting that information. So here,
correct.
MCP adds additional layer of security for the agents to not to interact with the direct system APIs or any other downstream system APIs, and still get that information. So we need to deploy the MCP application and also the actual system API as well.
Yeah, if suppose MCP applications connects with any downstream API, so in this case, it is connecting with this SAPI employee details. So yeah, both APIs should be deployed in order to retrieve the information. So if you see here, I have given this design center local, and I have given this localhost design center, and it is running. It is up and running, right? So I have just enabled it, and you can see 5 tools enabled. So I have told you tools are nothing but a flow. So if you see here in this application, I have this one tool retrieve employee name by ID 1, by contact number 2, and get design center projects, create RAML, and create content. So 5 tools. If you see here, well, sorry, yeah, create API, create RAML, get design center, retrieve employee name, retrieve employee by ID. So now it is up and running. So if let's ask employee ID 1, so it will it is already, I have actually can you tell employee details for contact number? So now you can see calling retrieve employee name by contact number. It's not calling by employee name by ID, right? So it will retrieve the information and it will prompt you. Okay, for this employee ID one Nasim Khan, Cognizant Kolkata. So we have seen here, right? Employee name, this contact. Okay, if I ask employee name three,
So this means like
yeah,
it this client agent application understand the natural language and calls the respective mule tools, right? Which is
tools,
the mule
correct,
flow. That's it, right?
correct. So now
That's the
I
only
have
update.
asked, correct, correct. Yeah, you're right. So now I have asked, can you tell me the employee name for employee ID 3? So it invoked retrieve employee name by ID. So it has given this. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyone is asking anything?
Yeah, can you try?
Moment,
Can you try some
I beg your
prompt
pardon.
where you don't get any result?
Okay.
Like there is no endpoint,
Yeah, yeah.
negative scenario.
How you do? I beg your pardon. Moment, is there any chance that you can have a look on the chart where the questions are formulated?
Uh, Come again, please. So here we can see, okay, I have asked for employee ID 5, which doesn't exist, right? So based on the search result, there is no employee with employee ID. Now I just want to ask the salary whose salary is greater than 1500, right? So this is salary 1000, 15,000, 1500. Okay.
So I have one question. So
Yeah.
let's say like we are integrating with the Mule API. So let's say we have some Java APIs as well, and
Mhm.
we have Java REST API calls as well. So can I also integrate? Yeah, I mean with that, like along with the Mule API.
Correct, correct. Yeah, we can. But here I am just showing the MuleSoft MCP, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we can integrate any. So that's why I am telling you MCP you can consider as a USB-C port. So in the left hand side, any API, in the right hand side, any agent that can be integrated.
Uh, is there any chance that you can clarify where runs the algorithm of the cursor in order to translate your prompt into the calls of the API? Is this actually locally, or you call every time the backend of cursor and pay the tokens?
Yeah, it's for the cursor. I mean, if you purchase, it's depend on the response, the number of questions you ask. We can say number of requests. Yeah, it it charges as number of requests.
Okay, very good. So the payments is actually on the number of
Requests.
execution of the algorithm, but where the algorithm is executed. You are supposed to have your cursor connected to the cursor backend LLM, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
Very
Because
good.
see,
That's
yeah,
your attention.
because in this case, if you see here, if I ask something, suppose again, if I ask this employee ID 3, so it will show you, okay, it is invoking this API. But if you ask anything generic questions like this any generic, so it will not invoke multiple times because it is already stored in their backend system. But it charge as a number of requests. When number of requests you hit, it will charge. So if you see here, I have asked, can you tell me the employee details whose salary are greater than 1000? So I have in this one three employees. Okay, one, two, three. First one is 1000, second 15, and 1500. So I have just typed. Okay, I need the information for those employee whose salary are greater than 1000. So it is okay. Omar is having 15,000. Horia is having 1500. So that calculation, yeah, it is doing in the cursor with the cursor algorithm, right? It retrieve the information and based on that it is doing whatever orchestration is there. So This is for the simple flow, simple tools I have done. And now I'll show you just quickly the design center, how it will create. This is the, I think, main. So in this one, I'll just quickly, it's yeah, we are running short of time. So currently you can see this on in my design center. I have two APIs, Happy Employee Details and Salesforce System API, right? So first thing, I have provided these informations like client ID and secret. You need to do this connected apps. You need to create connected apps with the client credentials, and then you have to just copy the client ID and secret. And token URL is the so common thing. And this owner ID and organization ID you can have from access management, right? In the access management, in the business group, you have to go to the business group. So here you have this business group ID, okay? And this is the organization. This is this client ID you don't need to do, but this username. So this user ID you need to provide in this owner ID field. Organization ID is done. Client ID and secret, you have to do this connected app, create connected app, and you have to select this client credentials. So I'll show you where I have configured this. So if you see here, we are passing this headers, owner ID and organization ID, right? And in this one, MuleHost is the host, and here authentication type is client credentials grant type. So this is the same, right? Create app, client credentials. Okay. So and here I have provided this client ID and secret. So
Moment, with all respect, all these actions are classical Mule API deployment thing. It's nothing related to Cursor. I'm just trying to figure
correct.
out what is suitable for everyone because here people are extremely strong with the classical Mule development.
Yeah. So
So
yeah. So this MCP is again I have earlier explained. MCP is interacting with our existing API. So here I have just I'm just showing, okay, if we type in natural language, can you check if Salesforce process API exists in design center? If not, please create Salesforce process API with health check contact endpoint. So it is first invoking this get design center projects. So it will let me check the if Salesforce process API is created. Okay, it is disabled now. It is running. Let me copy it. It will again download it.
So, one question
Yeah,
in
yeah.
meanwhile. So, how you will be deploying the agent force configuration into the server, like to accessible, anyone can access, right? That agent. It's like how we are doing.
This configuration you are saying.
Yes.
So yeah, in this one, yeah, MCP service, we need to just provide the URL and additional headers if you are providing, or additional properties. So in it is in the JSON format, and that's how you can, yeah.
No, it's need to be configured into the each and every client, each and every client side, like whoever is trying to consume that, like trying to use the agent, or it's like a kind of chat box into the
It's a kind of
portal.
child. It's, so suppose if I have deployed, so currently it is, yeah, it is not deployed, but so if I had deployed, so anyone can use this if they have the correct authorization, means credentials. So you can see Salesforce System API is there, but Process API is not there. So it will create RAML. So accordingly, it is invoking the respective tools. Great, I have successfully created. So there are multiple use cases where we can, automate our process. It depends on how we are working, how our client is working. So we can brainstorm that, okay, where we can, automate those things, those work. So it depends on the business use case. It's not like, everywhere we have to implement it. And I have heard that this is the cursor. I have heard that in Python, suppose if we write, if anyone of you knows the, okay, we can create an agent in Python. So that also works. This MCP. I have not tried, but one of my colleague was trying. Okay, in Python, our own agent. Yeah, we can create this. So Salesforce Process API is created. If you see here, and if there are certain things, like sometimes it's not, complete error free specification or whatever we are doing, so we need to just tweak something. So let's say this query param or somewhere it is having issues, so we can again ask cursor and it will again remove the error.
Okay, I have a question, Nasim. Thank
Yeah,
you for
yeah,
walking us through on the MCP. But
yeah.
I feel in this example, still be it the employee ID or whatever the earlier example you have shown as well,
Hmm.
I think we are still exposing the data to LLM, and it is trying to identify whether the employee ID present or not, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I think still there is a enterprise data risk, right? How do you manage that?
So for
Although the
this,
MCP,
yeah,
although
for this, correct, correct. You are right. I mean, this is the first concern whenever we are proposing any organization, right? So for this Flex Gateway, they have MuleSoft has introduced. So with this Flex Gateway, we are securing our backend data. Means whatever data we are exposing to the agents, we are securing that. But this cursor AI, as I told you, this cursor AI is for our common things, right? But if we are implementing anything which we are automating, so we need to create our own agent. That is the first thing. So that agent we can host for only for at our premise or whatever, I mean, in the cloud. So that is only explicitly for our organization. So that's why I told, if you create an agent, or in your organization has already created an agent that is already created by your organization, so they can use this MCP servers, MCP tools. Yeah, that LLM is designed by your organization, or it is for your organization, right? It is not being used for any other. Agent,
So
like we are creating an agent, na? I mean nowadays, I mean everyone is creating an agent. So that agent is only for suppose I have created an agent in Python, and that is only for, with me. I'm not exposing to it. Like this cursor AI is for everyone, right? But if I create an agent, and with that agent, if I communicate in natural language and getting the information from the backend, so it is secured, right? Because it is only for us and only for myself.
Okay, got it. Thank you. In our own LLMs for the enterprise, like
That
then
is
it,
the best. That is the best use case, because any, suppose any banking or any, like government data, they cannot give it to cursor AI or any other cloud desktop, right?
and if the agent need to connect with that any external APIs,
Mhm.
which is need to be converted, so how it like to SSL or like a auth protected, those kind of things, how can it be achieved?
Yeah. So for this, I have just experimented with this client ID and client ID secret. So for this security, if suppose this cursor AI needs to communicate with our MCP tools, so we have this Flex Gateway. They recently, I mean, MuleSoft has launched. So this Flex Gateway provide the security between our MCP tools and with the agents. So whichever, I mean, it is on Docker and containerization. So I have not explored that Flex Gateway, but yeah, Flex Gateway comes into the picture for this securing our APIs with the agent. If we have authenticated the agent to get into our API and get the data, so that will work. But I have just explored this. If we need to pass, if we pass this client ID secret, and so, here I have just yeah, in API. Here, this policy I've just disabled this. So I have applied this client ID enforcement policy, and I have given this wrong client ID secret. So it gave this for unauthorized. So, and I have given this client ID secret, and then it will communicate with the RAPI. This is for just this is I have just experimented, but the actual way is with the using of Flex Gateway, we can secure our MCP tools. It is there. Okay. Any other questions?
Uh, I don't know. Yes, there is a question regarding your use case that you showed where you created apparently a system API somewhere, or no, process API somewhere into the design center, and it is deployed or just created in design center but not deployed.
No, it is just it
And
is just created in design center. But if we need, the API is not available in the design center, ready for development and testing. I have just created the API in the design center
okay,
specification. Correct. No, 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 a specification. So that's what it.
okay, so you give to the LLM an ability to connect to your
Design center.
MuleSoft control plane and create the APIs. Well, to
Yes.
create specification for the APIs and deploy them onto. Well, they left in the design center. They are not deployed, but then you can do necessary in order to
Publish.
implement and
Yeah.
deploy. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Then we can publish to Exchange and then do the. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So
very good. Another quick question. Maybe you are more experience it with the cursor. But
Mhm.
I was given to understand that for this tool, you can use different LLM in order to replace their own LLM of cursor in order to do this uh, mm, reflection, well, kind of processing instead of using cursor own
Own
LLM. Is it
algorithm.
true or not? Because
No,
I'm
no.
not 100%.
See, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, see, cursor is not only using their algorithm, because
Mhm.
if I was just exploring this, school app. Okay. So in this one, they are showing, okay, which algorithm, which open AI you are using. So for
Mhm.
any complex work, we can use some other some GPT and 3.5 or something. So for different things, different is there. So I was just
Mhm.
exploring to create a Node.js school app. So it was really very, I mean, interesting. So it in backend you can it gives you the option to use different LLM.
Okay,
In
so
this one,
does it
yeah,
mean that if you have enough of enough of investment, you can
balance.
spin off your local API to local LLM and cut completely the cursor from outside?
Third party, yeah, correct. If you have enough balance or it depends on the subscription. Yeah, correct.
Okay, so that was the important answer on the question whether it is exposed to
Yeah.
outside or not. You
So
just have
no,
to
if
use
you
your
see,
own
if you,
LLM.
yeah, if you see here, it is only using. I mean, I have not changed. I have not changed the background. This, if you see here, this cloudy for this one, Sonnet. So this is the. I mean, agents. It is working. So it depends on the their
Okay,
your
so
subscription.
yes, I wanted just to figure out what is the yeah that the licensing questions that can be related to this. Can we do it or should we well subscribe for something from Cursor in order to be able to do it? To use our own LLM and cut completely Cursor from outside world in order to keep our data
Balance. Yeah. Mhm.
isolated.
Mhm. That I cannot tell. Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, okay, that's fine. It's just a question to
Mhm.
everyone. Maybe you can give me
Yeah,
the
if
idea
anyone
to
has
put
explored.
more on this. Just didn't get enough focus to explore this question before, so that's the question to everyone.
This question, I missed it.
Well, basically, I wanted just to figure out how, from the point of view the license of Cursor, we can cut Cursor from outside world, replacing the LLM of Cursor by our own implementation and our own servers.
Yeah, that's right. I think cursor data make the LLM openly, so I think it's better to have the internal LLM in place and then design the MCP on top of it to have um, the enterprise data exposed only to that LLM.
Okay, very good. So from the point of view of license, Cursor do not require us to give a special license for this.
Yes, you can try the MCP on directly as well. So there is no need of cursor.